Alright, what's going on, guys? So it's been a while since I've made a video. Sort of had a week off work. It's been school holidays, so gone away with my partner and my daughter for my daughter's birthday, done a bit of luging, that sort of thing in Rotorua, so it's pretty sick, but it's really taken the time away I've had to spend at the shed, so nothing's really happened except for getting some fender flares on there, front and back, so they're looking pretty smart. And I've just come down here Sunday afternoon before I go back to work tomorrow to try and get this thing running. So I brought some wire with me and I've put some crimp connections on there. So I've got one in my start terminal, one in my constant feed, just zip tied them along there, down to the starter motor and to the resistor on my coil. I've wired my coil up, and hopefully for the first time with this motor, well, with this cab on this motor, it's going to run. I haven't had it running yet. Haven't even cranked it over since this cab's been on there and since we took that cab off. So I'm about to try and crank it now. Fingers are crossed it's going to start. Yeah, just kick her in the nuts and see what happens, I suppose. No luck. I'll try taking this resistor out of the circuit. So there's just power straight to the coil, not going through the ballast resistor or whatever you call it. Okay, so I wired it up just like so. So I've got constant power going to the coil. It's going through this resistor first and then coming into the coil, which I believe is how they're supposed to be hooked up. That resistor was on that coil, so I imagine someone else worked out that that's the resistance it needs to be. When I just unplugged the resistor and went power straight to that side of the coil, it fired up. Loved it. Which sucks, because I believe if these coils aren't hooked up, if these resistors aren't hooked up, then basically what you do is you overheat the coil, because the coil should only really be, well, it shouldn't have max current going through the coil, I don't believe. So cranking no start there, and then as soon as I put that onto there, or hold it on there, which I can't do, and hold the camera at the same time, it fires. Okay, so I just checked for spark, got solid spark there. It must be out of fuel, to be honest. It had bugger all fuel in the gas tank when it came in here, and it's probably even less now because there's been no gas cap on it, so it might have evaporated away. So I put that spark plug back in now. And I also used a test light to see that it'll knock that 12 volts down to what I think is probably about 6 volts, 6 or 5 volts. And I still have spark. It is a bit weaker though when I do that, but it's still sparking, so, and it just coughed, and I can't smell fuel anymore, so I feel like I've probably used all my fuel up, or any fuel that it had. So what I might quickly do is undo a fuel line, put it into a bottle and crank it over and see if we get any fuel coming out there. It's just started pissing down, which is nice, you know. It's always good when you're working undercover when it starts raining outside. Makes you pretty fucking thankful that you got a shed. well, it's 20 past 6, it's pouring down with rain outside. I got work tomorrow, it's the end of my holiday, I've had a week off, like I said, that's why I haven't done anything to the Hilux. I've just been using the week with my daughter and my missus, so bit of a quick video. We haven't achieved fuck all. I've just done a little bit of wiring this afternoon, started on trying to get this motor running in here. Now that holiday's all over, back to the realisation of having to get this Hilux done. So we've got spark. I've just got what I believe is possibly no fuel. There is fuel coming out of there though when I just cranked it. Not a shitload, but I'll bring some fuel with me tomorrow. I'm going to leave this battery on charge overnight because it's starting to go dead on me while I'm cranking it. And I'm going to, maybe Google some more about these resistors tonight. I did look at a diagram before, and it says that when you're cranking it, the key actually goes straight to the 12 volts, and then when it's running, it should be only running on 5 volts. So I'm going to have to sort of mimic that with some hard wires tomorrow, just run a dead wire straight from positive terminal straight to there, start it up, make it run, and then remove that wire, and hopefully it'll stay running. So we'll do that tomorrow night, as well as put the radiator in and put some gas in it. And yeah, now that we're off holiday, we're back to it and full time on this Hilux build, because I want to get it going, because I want to get off road and I want to start driving through some rivers and put this thing to the test. And I've also got some things that I need to do to the diffs, like I've got an LSD in the other chassis. The other chassis has got a limited slip rear and open front, so I'm going to pull the limited slip and the open front out, and I'm going to weld the open front locked and have an LSD in the rear. So even on 31s, this thing should be fucking pretty unstoppable with an LSD and a locked front diff. So that should be pretty sweet. Also got to fit the tail lights, and there's still quite a few things to do. So what I might do tonight is upload this short, quick, brief update and start making a list, because lists they certainly help you sort of stay on track and just get done what needs to get done, rather than just turning up and just doing fuck knows what, bit of this, bit of that, So I might make a list tonight, come here tomorrow, and we'll be balls to the wall and hopefully have this thing started tomorrow night. And by next weekend, I'll be getting ready to take it off road and show you guys just how capable it is just in open diffs. And then what I'll do is I'll bring it back into the shed and we'll pull the rear diff, the front diff, and we'll throw a limited slip in it and a locked front, and we'll do a bit of a comparison on how much more of a truck or how much more capable it is once those diffs are installed. So that should be pretty good. I've also got a roof rack that I've brought, and I've also got 4 spotlights to go on that roof rack, so hopefully I'll be wiring those up this week, and that'll make it look fucking pretty trick too. So yeah, see you on the next one.